King has been co-opted by so many different groups. I mean, who hasn't seen the memes that say, Martin Luther King was a Republican, totally taken out of context of what the parties were like, or the memes that say, this is how you protest, and it's King at Selma on the bridge, but then this is not a protest, and it's like looting. All this mischaracterizes him. And I think the big message is that King, who especially later in his life was in many ways what we would consider now a radical king, that's been sanitized and he's been canonized, but for many times the wrong things or misunderstanding of those things. So what struck me was one theme that I hit on a lot is the empire coming home. The idea that all empires, definitionally and historically, they kind of come home and they come into the streets in the form of racism and poverty, and they boomerang back and forth. And he saw that, especially in 1967 when he gave his Beyond Vietnam speech. And he said that there's three evils, right, in American society, right? And everyone knows about the racism part because that's what he's famous for. But he said militarism, right? A militarist imperialism. And then he said, hyper-capitalism, materialism, whatever you want to call it. He identified the very things that the coronavirus and the Floyd protests and so much else have exposed, which is that all these things are interlinked and that we cannot fight the empire abroad without recognizing that it's right here in our streets.